The U.S. women's national team was the favorite going into the 2019 FIFA World Cup in France. But even before facing their international rivals on the field, they were in the midst of a battle at home. A month before their first match, and on International Women's Day, the U.S. women filed a gender discrimination lawsuit against the United States Soccer Federation.
You know, it was like, dang, this is really not great timing, but we were like, this has to be done.
Just as they gear up to defend their World Cup title this summer, the U.S. women's soccer team has their eye on a goal they've never scored: equal pay.
These players are arguably among the most famous athletes on the planet. They've taken their long fight for equal pay, along with complaints over medical treatment and coaching, to the next level.
What you're seeing is the women saying, listen, we are your most valuable product and you are not treating us as such.
I think we do have a unique group of leaders on the team who sort of signal to the rest of the team that, yes, this is very important, yes, this is very meaningful, but we got it. And if you guys are overwhelmed, that's okay. We aren't, and we can handle it.
With the lawsuit pending, the Americans kicked off their tournament against their Group F opponents, Thailand.
You know, we were match day 5. We were the last team to play. We had, the most media attention. We were, focused as focus could be.
And so during the national anthem, I was just going like this. Like, I was so smiling and proud and excited, and my parents were there. And I remember Rapinoe played me this pass, and I just turned and shot, and it went in. And there was a picture of like my eyes lit up looking for Rapinoe to give her a hug, to be like, thank you. Like, I couldn't believe it went in.
The roaring 13-0 victory was the largest margin ever seen at a World Cup. Alex Morgan tied the tournament record with 5 goals. Mewis and Rose Lavelle each scored twice. Lindsey Horan, Mallory Pugh, Carly Lloyd, and Rapinoe also put the ball in the back of the net. And then came the backlash.
Yeah, there was a lot of chatter on social media about did they run up the score? And a response to that is, well, they kind of had to, because in the group stage, if you're tied with other teams to advance to the next round, a tiebreaker is goal differential. So you have to score as many as you can, right?
And the best way to respect your opponent is to give them your best the whole game. And I think that's what we did. And that's kind of in our DNA. We're never going to take our foot off the gas no matter what. We're going to give it 100% every game, every training session, every meeting, whatever it is. Like, we're 100% bought in, and I think that's the same case for that game.
I think for me, it was just this realization that whatever we do is going to get picked apart. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm proud of my teammates. I'm proud of the way my teammates behave and held themselves through the whole tournament. I think that one thing that stood out to me was how Rapinoe took it upon herself to the media to say, hey, all these young players, this was their first World Cup. Of course they're excited. We've been waiting for this for years. Was moments of joy. And if you want to blame anybody, blame us. And she was saying, taking it upon herself and the other veterans to take the heat for it.
The team continued to dominate the group. They beat Chile 3-0 in Paris and replaced their celebrations with golf claps. With some wondering whether the U.S. should try to avoid France early on in the knockout stage, Coach Jill Ellis didn't let up, with midfielder Lindsey Horan opening up the game with a swift goal at the 3-minute mark, and goalkeeper Alyssa Nair keeping a clean sheet.
That game is definitely has become a bit of a rivalry. So I think it was the perfect game to lead us into the knockout stage against a really good team.
Round 16, the U.S. versus Spain.
We knew going into that game it was not a team that we could take lightly. They were very dangerous and technical.
The U.S. struggled to find their footing, but secured a 2-1 win with penalty kicks from the game captain Rapinoe, both goals hitting the left side of the net. Then some drama. A video of Rapinoe from months earlier surfaces.
I'm not going to the White House. No, I'm not going to the White House. We're not going to be invited.
President Trump responds via Twitter saying, "I'm a big fan of the American team and women's soccer, but Meghan should win first before she talks. Finish the job." With the president's tweet and the old video getting significant attention, the U.S. women now faced a huge challenge against France on their home turf in Paris.
That's the game that everyone circled, that we circled, that they circled. It's a knockout round. We're playing in an iconic stadium, against the team that we felt was probably going to be the toughest, one of the toughest competitions.
I hear everyone singing, and I was like, wow, that was so cool. And then France's national anthem played, and it was blaring with the amount of people and like volume of people singing it, and I was like, oh shoot, it's a lot of people cheering for the other team.
At the 5-minute mark, a free kick from Rapinoe.
No one touches it, it'll go in the goal. If someone touches it, it's likely going to be a goal. So just tried to kind of put it in an area that was going to be dangerous.
It tucks itself under U.S. defender Julie Ertz, 2 French defenders, and the French goalkeeper. Then an iconic celebratory pose.
The grin is a shit-eating grin for sure. And not just like, oh, it's a rebuttal to the haters. Kind of like, it was more so of like, you look down upon us because we're women. And you look down upon us and you don't want us to be successful as an American team because we have, someone who doesn't like you saying that publicly. So there was sort of all of that. And I feel like everything we fight for is like everything he fights against and people like him. And then there was just this moment of like, this is what you play for. At least this is what I play for.
We scored early and then we sat back a little bit. So we were kind of playing a lot of defense. We scored again.
With Rapinoe at 65, lightly touching a soft pass from forward Tobin Heath. Then, at the 81st minute mark, Gwendolyn Renard scored for France.
Just so intense and so high pressure, and really one of the most important and most, it felt like I was walking on the edge of a cliff games I've ever played in.
The Americans held on, knocking the home team out in the quarterfinals.
I mean, that was the most incredible soccer environment that I've ever played in by a mile.
In the semifinals, they played England. The U.S. takes the lead with a beautiful header from forward Kristen Press, assisted by Kelly O'Hara at the 10th.
I think the moment for me is when Kristen scores. Having choked up just talking about it, but obviously she, lost her mom early in the year, very suddenly, and just seeing the strength that she had to continue through the whole year and, play her role perfectly, coming off the bench, and to be able for her to have that moment is such a big game. To score that goal and to, kind of point up to the sky was just like, couldn't have written it any better.
England counters with a goal from forward Ellen White at the 15-minute mark. 16 minutes later, the U.S. responds with the perfectly placed assist from Lindsey Horan to Alex Morgan for a header right into the net, and Morgan's 30th birthday nonetheless. England is presented with an opportunity when American defender Becky Sauerbrunn fouls White in the box. A PK is called by the ref.
And we've trained it a million times. I mean, you line up, you're supposed to go and follow the rebound. And we all did, and I knew that if there was a rebound that we would clear it out. But then Alyssa just saved it cleanly, catches it, and we're off again.
Alyssa Nair saves the PK and maintains the 2-1 victory for the U.S. The finals. The United States face Netherlands. A scoreless first half.
And I just remember going into halftime and thinking okay, well, we didn't do our best. We can definitely create more chances and feeling like it was within our control, feeling like, okay, if we just go out there and score a goal, we're going to win.
Alex Morgan draws a foul at the 61st. Rapinoe takes the PK and the U.S. takes the lead. Then, at 69 minutes...
Started with Crystal, made this great tackle to stop their counterattack. She got it to Sam. Sam drew one of their midfielders in and played it to me. And
I'll give the ball to Rose there 10 times out of 10. Her dribbling at speed from the midfield forward. I think you could just see the defender start to be like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And
I was just waiting for one of the center backs to step to me so that I could slip it to Alex, but they didn't. I was just kind of waiting, and then they never stepped, so I was like, I guess I'll take this shot myself.
And I just was frozen like this. And I've seen it, there's a couple of angles of clips that show it a little bit, that I just stopped dead in my tracks. I was just in absolute awe.
The United States women's national team won its second World Cup in a row, 4th overall, and the victory was followed by a chant they were not used to hearing. Equal pay.
It's rare that the fans get to speak directly to the head of FIFA or directly to, the sort of leaders that be in soccer, and that was their moment to say whatever they wanted to say, and it's pretty amazing and pretty special that that's what they chose to say.
We were just constantly at this high level, and it was so mentally exhausting, but at the same time, it's like obviously at the end, very, very rewarding.
And it was just surreal. I mean, it was like such a dream come true, so unbelievable, and just feeling this overwhelming sense of relief and gratitude that I got to be part of something so special and so big.